One man, one Murloc, one giant angry badger. This is Blue Please. It begins now.
Yes, indeed, folks. Welcome to Blue Please on WoW Radio. With myself, Tom Biscuit. The date today is the 12th of December, 2008. It is 6 o'clock in my country, and in your country, it is another time. Ooh, mysterious and all that good stuff. Yes. What have we got coming up for you in the show today? Well, to start with, we could do with probably turning the microphone up a little bit. Will that improve matters? Yes, it will. There we go. Okay. I have no idea why my mic was so low. Whatever. Fixed! By the magical powers of technicalities. Or is it technicians? Or I have no idea, to be quite honest. What's going on in the show today? This week we have character recustomization and the never-appearing logical fallacy. We shall talk about that a little bit later on in the show. Also, the trials and tribulations of crafting, including the episode of the week this week. Oh yes, it's all mixed into one. And of course, we have an interesting discussion. Apparently, the craftable epic cloak from an achievement is a big problem in the eyes of certain WoW Radio hosts. I will be taking the opposite role, and indeed, maybe firing a shot across their bows. That didn't work. That was supposed to be an explosion. Have this. There. It's a glass cannon. Go figure. There'll be the illusion of choice coming up later as well. Oh yes, you can email in your choice for the topic at the end of the show to themurloc@gmail.com. That is themurloc@gmail.com. When I fix the explosion, you guys are in for it, I tell you. You have a handgun, I guess. It's not really threatening, is it? Like, hi, I have a huge ship. I fire a shot across your bows with what appears to be a 32 caliber, horrible, terrible little thing. Oh well. Right. Anyway. First thing is first. I have a few apologies to make, not something I usually do, I must say. First and foremost, I would like to apologise specifically to Terpster for my behaviour over the past week. Regardless of my thoughts for the guy, the behaviour was utterly and totally unacceptable for anybody. Shouldn't have said what I said, and therefore I apologise. I would also like to apologise for the listeners who had to deal with that, and the staff members who had to groan and wince as I went on regardless, bull-headed, like a bull in a china shop, one would assume, if it was bull-headed. If it wasn't, it was something with a bull head, and that would be horribly mutated and should be put down, for it is an abomination in the sight of God. Yes. So yes, apologies for that. I'm very, very sorry. It should not have happened. We shall see what happens in the future. I wish him the very best of luck. Needless to say, he's now going to have to compete with me. Enjoy that. Right, the second apology I have to put out is to somebody by the name of Soltis, who you might remember 2 weeks ago was chastised on this show for doing certain things. And indeed, he actually spoke to Dave later on. Dave asked if they could bury the hatchet, and he said only if you apologise and that guy on the radio apologises. So, I will apologise for believing that you are merely mentally ill. It turns out, in fact, that you are actually terminally psychotic, and proud of it. Needless to say, there's things that have been said in trade chat from him are absolutely unacceptable. Not only is he proud, he is incredibly proud of saying, I would rather wait for this disabled guy to die from a genetic disorder and or cancer, whichever comes first. But he now brags about it in trade chat. It's funny, he got kicked out of his guild, and rightly so. So he went and formed a guild called We Hate Soltis, thinking it was ironic. It's not. We actually do. I must say, it is Defias Brotherhood's civic duty to rid themselves of this menace. So I would suggest that people keep a keen eye out for any bannable offences that he may be guilty of. Sadly, buying epic mounts for people he thinks are girls on the internet never seems to work out for him and isn't actually a bannable offence. It'll be a very happy day when stupidity becomes a bannable offence in WoW. Sadly, it would also cut the subscription base by over half. Sad. All I can say is if you continue to like Soltis after this, indeed, Soltis went as far as to prove everything that was said about him 2 weeks ago. I mean, you know me, I don't lie, I go off evidence. He posts a whole bunch of stuff to redeem himself, and it turns out, of course, that it consists of all of the stuff that we said and worse. If you like this guy, you're either dangerously deluded or simply a sickening sycophant, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Really, anyone that can defend this guy is as bad as he is. Terminally mad. Jeez. Crazy. Anyway, that's my apologies out of the way. So let's get on with the show, as it should be. If you are not already in the IRC channel, I would strongly suggest you get there. It's irc.mmoirc.com, #pound. WoW Radio. Alternatively, click the chat button at the top of the screen on wcradio.com. Yes, we have a front page. Try reading it in future. Those of you who have missed this show thinking, oh, why is it on an hour early? Well, it was posted about 3 days ago on the front page, and on my Twitter, which you can subscribe to if you wish. As to why, I don't know. It's still not quite worked out the purpose of this thing, but if you want to subscribe to it, it's username Total Biscuit. Right, let's talk about a few things. Something recently came up by the name of character recustomization. What is character recustomization? Character recustomization allows you for a nominal fee. As to whether or not it's small depends entirely on whether or not you're still living with your parents and getting an allowance. Would be, well, what does it consist of? You are able to change your facial features. Not only are you able to change your facial features, but you are also able to change your gender. And that's the biggest thing. You can have a sex change operation in WoW, and indeed, unlike sex change operations in the real world, this one only costs $15. Very handy, I suppose, if you're into that kind of thing. Of course, needless to say, the person to take first advantage of that would be my wife, who decided it would be funny to change my very respectable, I must say, very respectable, balding human mage on US side into a blonde female. Thanks. Yeah, at least she can't get a hold of my troll. If I logged in one day and found my troll was a female, I would throw down. I'm not kidding. The only reason for that, really, is that you don't get the good mohawk as the female. Ugh. That would be the worst thing to do to people, don't you think? Hack the account. Right, what can I do? Well, I could steal all the gold. Could do that. I could sour relationships with all their friends and guildies. Yeah, could do that too. I could DE all of their equipment and leave them with nothing. Or, alternatively, just leave them with an ogre loincloth for comic effect. Could do that. No, I have a better idea. I will spend $15 to change the gender and the facial features of the character, then run away giggling. It's a big hacker's griefing tool, that's what it is. It's been created specifically for Chinese farmers to act like they have some kind of sense of humour. They're in league. They're in league with Blizzard, clearly. There's conspiracy theory for you. Anyway, another conspiracy theory related to this is the fact that this is apparently a slippery slope. Yes, we have a lot of slippery slopes around here. WoW is some giant ski resort, apparently. The amount of slippery slopes that I've seen people claim around here, they're fantastic. I want to get a snowboard out. Go down a few of these slippery slopes, see just how slippery they really are. Is it real powder snow or artificial? Who knows? We shall see. Sadly, their snowboarding conspiracy expedition tends to run into a big rock and or tree halfway down when they realise that, actually, this never materialised. The slippery slope argument for this particular feature is that how long is it before they allow you to change your class, or change your racials, or change, obviously, your race? How long until you start being able to buy epics with real money, blah, 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 blah. Well, regardless of the fact that you can already do that with the secondary market, not that you should, because if you do, you're a miserable little cheater. I don't think that's going to happen. Why is it not going to happen? Because there's no precedent for it. I'm not saying president. Barack Obama is not going to approve this activity. I'm saying precedent. However you want to pronounce it. Specifically, it's that all of these kind of things have happened before. Examples, coming thick and fast, from the left side and the right. Firstly, the WoW TCG. The WoW TCG allowed you to get hold of certain items in return for codes which were on cards. So yes, you were buying trading cards in order to get items, except every single one of them was nothing more than cosmetic. See? Nothing more than cosmetic. Even the mounts, I believe you actually had to pay for in one form or another, and it wouldn't make a blind bit of difference anyway, they're not worth anything. So every single item, cosmetic. Oh look, it didn't materialise, you didn't get epics. Well, what about the points? Oh, you only get tabards. Tabards are useless anyway. Great. Okay, what else is there? Let me think. What else can we accuse Blizzard of today? Oh yes, realm transfers. Okay, what the hell is wrong with that? If anything, they should have extended the service more so they'll actually allow a EU to US. Again, I'm going to have to abandon my nice EU character when I go back to the States. Thanks, Blizzard. How about this? I sell my character for real money, use said real money to buy another character, and then buy the gold that I have wasted on the other character because you will not allow me to transfer my character. And using that Chinese-bought gold, I will rebuild my character in the image of my old character, and it will have the same trade skills, and all of this other cool stuff. And I'll buy it at BlizzCon mount, and all this stuff. Would you like me to support the secondary market? Is that what you'd like me to do? Huh? Really? Because this is already happening. You realise people are doing this, right? And you could stop it very simply by allowing EU to US or US to EU or Asian to EU or Oceanic to whatever. Doesn't matter. It just seems ridiculous not to offer a service that some people do want. I don't care for the minority. You cater to the minority all the bloody time. Anyway. Regardless of their failings, Blizzard don't go in for this slippery slope thing. It doesn't happen. You cannot buy stuff from Blizzard that is useful for real money. Name changes, cosmetic, server transfers. Yeah, okay, you can transfer server, but since every server is an identical copy of the other with different economies and different people, who cares? It's a good service. Now, they're into providing services that people will pay for. Yes, for some inexplicable reason, some people will pay $15 to change their gender. Fine. If that's what they want to do, let them do it. I have no problem with it. I don't see why they would. I don't see any reason for it. I mean, I can understand if for some reason you rolled a different race, accidentally of course, and didn't roll a troll male, which is what you were supposed to do. I would have thought they'd have given you enough tips. I mean, you go onto the character select screen, you look at the alliance, and they all look terrible. So you think, okay, let's play Horde. You go through, you see Troll's got the most classes, you roll Troll. Obviously, that's the answer. But no, apparently some people misclicked and rolled another race. As to why, I really don't know. So maybe you should allow them that. Don't call it character recustomization, call it character fixing, character repair. It allows you to re-roll back to the Troll you were supposed to be. It's pretty simple, really. I mean, it makes sense to me. But anyway, I don't see the slippery slope. There is no blinking slippery slope. It's very easy to argue that Blizzard are going to do something sometime in the future, whereas there is no evidence to suggest they will. Yeah, you can conspiracy theorize to Kingdom Come, you can say all sorts of bad things about Blizzard if you want, but I'd rather concentrate on the things that actually matter. You can say, one thing you can say about Blizzard is they're consistent. They know exactly what they want out of this game. Just a couple of weeks back, they sued out of existence 2 people who were running private servers. They're still after these people. They're still after gold farmers. They do not let up. They do not relent. They keep sticking to their guns, and you've got to admire that. It doesn't matter if their guns happen to be incorrect, if they have the wrong kind of guns, or they're not firing them in the right place. They still stick to them. You might think it's a bit blinkered, but it does the job. And it's nice to see a company with principles, even if I don't agree with some of them. So no, I don't agree that this is going to lead to class changes. I don't see why you'd need to. It's not like it really matters. You can be whatever you want now. As long as you have a healing class, you can have a DPS and a tank at level 55. Thanks, Death Knights. Plenty of other things that Death Knights are broken, of course, but we're going to be coming on to that a little bit later on in the show. My name is Total Biscuit. You are listening to the one and only Blue Please here on WoW Radio. I've got one more thing I need to announce, just briefly. This is something that I haven't done before, and I want to do it right now. I want to get it out there, test the water, see how it is. I would like to organise a charity event. And this charity event is to benefit a society, a group, a research group by the name of Deborah, which deals with the incredibly long and unpleasantly rare genetic condition that I cannot pronounce that affects one of our community members. It's a rare condition, most people don't know about it. It's a dangerous condition, and quite frankly, I believe that it's a cause that needs to be championed, and that money needs to be raised to support this particular organisation. So today I would like to announce that come start of February, I will be doing a 24-hour broadcast, non-stop, for the aid of the Society Deborah for the research of a certain genetic condition. The genetic condition, if I can pronounce it correctly, is on behalf of people in the UK with the genetic condition epidermolysis bullosa. And that's going to be happening at the start of February. 24 hours of me, non-stop, for charity. That should be interesting. Looks like I'm going to stop it on the coffee. My name's Total Biscuit. This is Blue Please, here on WoW Radio. This is Scar Symmetry with more for Genesis, and I'll be right back after this with the trials and tribulations of a crafter. Enjoy.